You feel it, don't you? The eyes watching you, the whispers behind closed doors, the quiet curiosity that follows wherever you go. They don't just see you, they study you. Every movement you make, every word you speak, every silence you keep, all of it becomes a puzzle they compulsively try to solve. But why? Why do some people become walking mysteries that draw attention, analysis, and even obsession? This has nothing to do with vanity. This has nothing to do with popularity. It's about something deeper, something primal. People fear what they don't understand, and you, my friend, are the embodiment of that fear. You disrupt their predictability. You shake the foundations of their assumptions. And in their world, that is an unforgivable crime. Get ready, things are going to get even more mysterious. There are people who enter a room and instantly change the entire atmosphere. Maybe you've noticed it. When you walk in, conversations fall silent, gazes shift, energies rearrange. It's not about what you say or do. It's about what you are. Something in you disturbs the invisible balance people cling to for their sense of safety. They don't even know why they're so drawn to you, only that they are. Humans are wired to assess threats and opportunities. But what happens when they can't place you in either category? You're an anomaly. A disturbance in their system. They analyze you, hoping to find something tangible, something explainable. But the more they probe, the less they discover. And that drives them mad. People love to categorize. It gives them a sense of control. This person is successful because they had rich parents. This person is charismatic because they're extroverted. This person struggles because they're lazy. Labels make life easier, safer. But you? You don't fit into any drawer. Are you a hero or a villain? Are you joyful or strategic? Are you wise beyond your years or simply exceptionally intuitive? Every time they think they've seen through you, you shatter their expectations. And that's terrifying, not only because they don't understand you, but because it forces them to question how much they understand at all. Their obsession with you isn't only about you. It's about themselves. It's about their need to be right. People expect a clear, logical story behind success, presence, or influence. But you? You break the formula. Maybe you didn't have the advantages others did, and yet you move through life with confidence. Maybe you don't have their formal education, yet you speak with wisdom. Maybe you shouldn't be where you are, and yet, you are here. That shakes people to their core. They want to believe that success follows a predictable pattern. They want to believe that if they do X, Y will happen. But you? You exist outside that equation. And that means everything they believed might be wrong. So they dig deeper, searching for an explanation that doesn't exist. But obsession isn't always driven by fear. Sometimes it's about something even deeper, admiration. Whether they admit it or not, something about you fascinates them. Maybe it's your resilience. Maybe it's your ability to move through life with grace, even under pressure. Maybe it's your unwavering certainty, your refusal to be shaken by the chaos around you. And so their analysis becomes something larger. A ritual. A study. Almost like worship. They don't just want to understand you, they want to be you. The world longs for predictability. It gives people a sense of control, a soothing illusion that life follows clear and fixed rules. If they do certain things, they expect certain results. If they say something, they assume they can predict the reactions of others. This structure gives them comfort, the feeling that they have their environment under control. They build their lives on these expectations, relying on patterns to navigate relationships, work, and social dynamics. But the moment someone deviates from that script, their whole order collapses. And that's where you come in. You don't follow those rules. You don't react predictably, and that unsettles people. When they challenge you, they expect resistance or submission, yet you remain silent, unmoved, unshakable. When they try to bait you into an emotional reaction, you remain inscrutable and deny them the answer they want. And when they attempt to drag you into their drama, expecting you to play along, you step back and withdraw completely. Your mere presence becomes a puzzle they cannot solve, a pattern that won't repeat. And that is precisely what makes people obsessed with you. They're not used to someone who won't be decoded. The more they try to crack your code, the more frustrated they become. But what truly drives them insane is the realization that there is no code. No hidden formula, no secret rulebook governing your behavior. There is only you, existing on your own terms, free from the need for external validation. That kind of independence is rare, and people don't know how to handle it. They're fascinated by your unpredictability, yet at the same time it drives them mad that they can neither control nor categorize you. Have you ever noticed how some people project their insecurities onto you? It happens more often than most realize. When someone struggles with self-doubt, fears, or unresolved inner conflicts, they often look for an external target to dump their frustration on. Instead of confronting their own weaknesses, they turn outward, to people who embody traits they've repressed within themselves. This projection allows them to avoid dealing with their inner battles and shift their discomfort outward. And sometimes that external target is you. Maybe you remind them of the courage they never had, the ability to take risks, stand firm in convictions, or walk away from situations that don't serve you. Your self-confidence may act like a mirror, reflecting their own insecurities back at them. But instead of using that reflection as a chance to grow, they envy you. Your strength becomes a silent challenge to their weakness and leaves them feeling exposed in a way they'd rather ignore. Or maybe it's your independence that triggers them. The fact that you don't rely on external validation, that you move through life without constantly seeking approval, unnerves them. They have built their identity on needing others, affirmation, encouragement, belonging. Then you come along, free from those dependencies. That self-sufficiency forces them to confront the chains they've wrapped around themselves through caring too much about what others think. But instead of facing that truth, they choose the easier path, they envy you. Rather than wrestle with their shadows, they fixate on you. They dissect your life, searching for flaws that will comfort them about their own shortcomings. Yet as they desperately search for your weaknesses, they only reveal their own. Silence is power. And you? You understand that better than most. People fear uncertainty. They need to know where they stand with you. If you don't explain yourself, they fill the gaps with paranoia. Every pause, every unanswered message, every moment you keep your thoughts to yourself, all of it becomes fuel for their speculation. And that, my friend, is the ultimate power move. Not speaking. Not explaining. Simply being. They expect influence to come through loudness, through self-promotion, through effort. But you? You do none of that. And yet you draw more attention than those who desperately crave to be noticed. They analyze your presence and hope to decode the secret. They think, there must be a trick. There must be a formula. But there isn't. You don't chase influence. You embody it. And that realization shakes them to the core. People find comfort in patterns. A leads to B leads to C. But you? You move instinctively, not predictably. You don't follow the script they expect. They try to create connections that aren't there. They search for patterns that don't exist. The more they try to understand you, the more they realize, your existence contradicts every structure. And that is terrifying. Because if you can live without rules, without formulas, without their so-called certainties, then maybe they could too. And that is what scares them the most. Most people are trapped. Trapped in expectations. Trapped in social validation. Trapped in the need for recognition. But you? You are free. You don't need titles. You don't need permission. You don't need the system. And that is the greatest threat of all. Not your power. Not your intelligence. Not even your mystery. But your freedom. In a world built on self-display, authenticity is rebellion. Most people change to belong. You refuse. Most people adapt to be accepted. You do not. And that is what makes you dangerous. They want to find a flaw in your authenticity. They want to prove you're just like them, just as lost, just as insecure, just as desperate for validation. But you are not. And that destroys their illusion. There is wisdom in you that people sense but cannot decode. Maybe it's spiritual. Maybe it's intuitive. Maybe it's something even you don't fully understand. But what matters is this: you don't overshare it. In a world where everyone fights to be heard, your silence is a disruption. They analyze your words and deeds hoping to decipher your philosophy. But truth isn't something you can steal. It's something you live. People fear the unknown. And you? You are the unknown. They sense that your path isn't only meant for today. Not just for this generation. It's something larger. Something history will remember. They cannot dictate your direction. They cannot predict your steps. So they scrutinize you, hoping to make you normal. Hoping to understand what was never meant to be understood. But you are an unsolvable riddle. They will never decode you. And that's exactly how it should be. Chosen one, have you ever wondered why you become stronger the more people try to tear you down? That is no accident, it is a powerful sign that you are activating something greater within yourself. Stay with me, because in this video I will reveal why resistance and opposition are actually indicators that you are on the right path. You will discover how to use these challenges to fuel your growth and become truly unstoppable. Let's begin by acknowledging something important. The road to success is often paved with obstacles. Throughout history, some of the most influential and successful people overcame enormous resistance right before their greatest breakthroughs. Think of figures like Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, and Malcolm X. They all faced extreme opposition. Yet instead of letting it break them, they used it to rise and become forces that changed the world. Why does this happen, especially to you, the chosen ones? It's simple. People sense your power and potential even before you fully realize it yourself. When others see you moving closer to your purpose, it can trigger envy, criticism, and attempts to bring you down. But this opposition is actually a powerful signal. You are stepping into something greater, something not everyone can understand or support. And when you feel this, take it as confirmation that you are on the verge of unlocking your true potential. 3. Resistance as a mirror. When we speak about resistance, it's important to understand that it is a mirror of your growth. Think about it: every time you try to advance, whether in your career, personal life, or mindset, the people around you may react in ways that seem discouraging. Why is that? Because your growth exposes their fear of change. In psychology, there is a concept known as the crab mentality. Imagine a bucket of crabs. Whenever one tries to climb out, the others pull it back down. That is exactly what happens when you grow. People unconsciously try to keep you at their level because it's more comfortable for them. Here's an example to make this clear. Picture someone starting a new business or project. At first, people may be supportive, but once success begins, criticism and negativity often follow. Instead of breaking this person, it fuels their ambition. The more resistance they face, the more determined they become. Now think of your own life. Have you ever faced resistance right before a breakthrough? Maybe you started something new, and suddenly people began doubting or criticizing you. That is a sign you are on the right track. Resistance is not a setback, it is a mirror of your progress. 4. The unstoppable mindset. This brings us to an even more powerful idea: mental strength. How is it that some people thrive under pressure and opposition, while others collapse? It comes down to developing a mindset that doesn't just endure challenges, but feeds on them. Mental strength is the ability to overcome obstacles, no matter how intense, and stay focused on your long-term goals. Neuroscience shows us that the brain actually rewires itself to become more resilient when faced with resistance. Every challenge strengthens your mind, making you more capable of handling future struggles. It's just like working out, the more weight you lift, the stronger you get. Take Serena Williams as an example. Throughout her career she faced intense criticism, about her abilities, her appearance, even her behavior. But what did she do? She didn't let it break her. Instead, she used it as fuel to rise even higher and become one of the greatest athletes of all time. Her mental strength allowed her to rise above the noise and stay locked on her goals. So, when you face resistance in your life, remember, it's not a sign to stop. On the contrary, it is proof that you are growing. Strengthen your mind, rise above the opposition, and keep your eyes on your vision. The more resistance you encounter, the stronger and more unstoppable you become. History is full of people who endured incredible resistance, from leaders like Nelson Mandela to visionaries like Steve Jobs. They were criticized, attacked, and doubted. Yet instead of breaking, they rose above. Why? Because they knew opposition wasn't a sign to quit, it was a signal they were on the right path. And you, chosen one, are no exception. The more they try to tear you down, the more unstoppable you become. Let's explore how you can turn resistance into your ultimate strength. 1. Embrace the challenge. First, shift your mindset. When people challenge or oppose you, it's not a setback, it's a sign of growth. This is your chance to evolve, so don't avoid discomfort. Embrace it as a necessary step on your journey. 2. Develop emotional resilience. It's easy to get tangled in emotions when others criticize or try to pull you down. But this is where emotional distance matters. By practicing resilience, you detach from negativity and keep your inner peace. You are not defined by their opinions. 3. Keep your vision in focus. Remember why you started this journey. Whatever obstacles come your way, they are small compared to your long-term purpose. Keep your goal in sight, and don't let temporary setbacks distract you from achieving greatness. 4. Transform negative energy into power. Let's talk about something truly transformative, turning negative energy into personal fuel. This idea comes from emotional alchemy, the concept that you can take negativity directed at you and convert it into energy that drives your success. Think of people like Steve Jobs, who used rejection as motivation to create groundbreaking products that changed the world. It wasn't the easy road, but it was the one that made him unstoppable. Here's how you can apply this. The next time you face negativity, from critics, doubters, or even your own fears, take a moment to write it down. Process the emotions and then transform them. Ask yourself, how can I use this to fuel my next step? This practice helps you turn negativity into motivation for personal and professional growth. 6. The power of authenticity. Now let's talk about authenticity, your greatest strength in a world that tries to tear you down. When you are authentic, you become unshakable. People's attempts to criticize or diminish you often come from their own insecurities or their fear of your uniqueness. Look at Oprah Winfrey. In the early days of her career, she was relentlessly criticized. But what made her successful? She stayed true to her vision, focused on self-improvement and empowerment, and built an empire. How do you apply this? Take a moment each day to affirm your identity. Speak your truth, even when it's unpopular, because that is what attracts the right people and opportunities into your life. When you are authentic, you shine, and the right people connect with your energy. 7. Turning adversity into advantage. Adversity is your teacher. Every challenge, every person who tries to tear you down, is actually helping you grow, whether they realize it or not. Post-traumatic growth is real, and often the greatest obstacles lead to the greatest breakthroughs. Take J.K. Rowling as an example. She was rejected time and again before publishing Harry Potter, which became a global phenomenon. Without those rejections, she might never have had the drive to create something so powerful. Whenever you face adversity, write it down. Document what you learn and how it makes you stronger. Over time, you will look back and realize that every obstacle didn't hold you back, it propelled you to new heights. In closing, remember this. Every time someone tries to tear you down, it is only more fuel for your journey. You are unstoppable, because resistance is your driving force. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever turned negativity to your advantage? How did it make you stronger? Share your story in the comments. We are all on this journey together, and your story could inspire someone else. And if this message resonates with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. You are not alone, chosen one. Together, we rise.